Hey, what's up, YouTube family? It's Kay here. How you guys doing? I got another video for you all today, and instead of it being about my hair, which has grown a lot, as you can see, shake them dreads, shaking like a white girl. Just joking, but yeah, they're pretty long, and I can shake them. Which is one of the main reasons I got dreads, so I can do this. Hey. All my hair. No extensions. But anyway, 7 months of dreads. They're coming in. But anyway, this video is not about my hair. It's about new fall TV series and recurring series and my reviews of them. I have my top 7 favorites, and I'm going to be talking about them for you today. My number 7 pick for a series to watch is Preachers of LA, which airs on the Oxygen Network 10 p.m. on Wednesday nights. This show features Dietrich Haddon, gospel superstar, who's also a minister. Jay Hazlett, he's an ex-pro skateboarder turned pastor. His ministry focuses on the street kids, the skaters, the rockers, basically the misfits, of society. You have Clarence McClendon, who has a huge ministry, a mega church. He's also an ex-musician, I believe. You have Ron Gibson. He's an ex-former gangbanger. He was, I believe, a Crip at some point. Sorry, I'm trying to fix my hair. Kind of looking crazy. Anyway, he's a former gangbanger. And Wayne Chaney, a bishop. I don't know too much about him. But anyway, it follows these guys, and they're, ministering in these big mega churches. There's been a lot of controversy about the series because they feel like it's flashing wealth instead of spirituality. That a Christian ministry should be about, not about the money. I had misconceptions as well, thinking it was going to be more materialistic based series, but it's actually pretty decent. I wouldn't have put it on the Oxygen Network, but hey, my take on it is I give it a 6 out of 10. My favorite people on the show, they also have Noel Jones, I'm sorry. Also, Noel Jones, a pastor celebrity. A lot of people know him. A lot of people subscribe to his ministry. Dietrich Haddon, as you know, he had a very rocky, controversial, scandalous divorce from his wife, Demeter Haddon, who's also a gospel singer herself, due to her affair with Isaac Carey, another big gospel guy. Also, there have been rumors about there was an abortion that went on. And basically, Dietrich, during this divorce, he ended up becoming involved in a young woman named Dominique. And he fell into sexual sin, sex outside of marriage, and got her pregnant. Now, doing the right thing, he actually got engaged to her, and they are now married. The show featured them doing their engagement process and their marriage. They actually got married before the wedding. They had kind of like eloped, and then they had another wedding for their family and friends. And they seem down to earth. He's not sugarcoating his sin. He's admitting, he's repenting. People are still criticizing him. I think it's unfair. He seems like a real guy who just fell into a bad situation. Fell into temptation. After 10, 15 years of marriage, it's understandable he would want to, be in the arms of a woman again. And this girl came along at that vulnerable point in his life. He made a mistake. Move on. Who hasn't? Let's just be for real. When about 50, 60, 70% of the black church is single moms, unmarried single moms, not divorced or married mothers who broke up with their husbands. No, we're talking about most of the church is single women raising their kids. Let's be serious. So judging this guy for what he did makes no sense. Not condoning what he did, but who's gonna criticize him when most people in the church haven't ever been married and are a product of single family homes where mama raised you and grandmama raised you. So to judge this guy was really way harsh. And he seems like a cool dude. He's back on his game, got a new album out, Cop That. Especially his new single is called Have Your Way. Great song, which he touches on his, infidelities and everything. Well, not infidelities, but his, falling away. Great. It's a good show. Ron Gibson, my take on him, he's kind of like, still kind of gangster. Like, Clarence McClendon seems like a pretty boy, flashy, kind of judgmental, I think. Him and Dietrich got into it. He kind of tried to carry Dietrich on issues of whether preachers should get paid to go to smaller churches. And he basically made it seem like if you can't afford me and my entourage, I shouldn't preach at your church. And Dietrich made a point that our ministry is to go into the streets and minister to people. And if a church needs your help and they call you to minister, whether they can afford to pay for you and your entourage is irrelevant. Go where God leads you and minister to these people, and it shouldn't always be about dollars. Anyway, that show airs on the Oxygen Network, 10 p.m. Wednesdays. Check it out. It's not as bad as they say. All right. My second favorite series is number 6, The Originals. This is a spinoff of Vampire Diaries. It follows Klaus and Rebecca, the Michelson siblings, and also their brother Elijah, and their move to New Orleans. Basically, they're trying to take back their vampire dynasty from Marcel, which is an African-American vampire that Klaus made, his progeny, basically. When Marcel was a slave back in the 1700s, I believe, Klaus made him into a vampire, and Marcel ended up taking over New Orleans as his vampire kingdom. So it's about the fight for power. Also, Klaus has a hybrid child with a werewolf woman. And everyone's afraid this hybrid child will overthrow the vampire, structure and be very dangerous to destroy all the original vampires. Check that out. That airs Tuesdays at 8 p.m. on the CW network. My number 5 series is Impractical Jokers. This is a funny show about lifelong best friends pulling pranks on each other. We're talking will you kiss a stranger, eat someone's food at a restaurant and run away, take your shirt off in public, tell someone I love you, steal someone's hat. I mean, they do all kind of crazy stuff. And them having this lifelong friendship just adds to the fun and hilarity of it. If you like Jackass, or prank hidden camera shows or whatever, this is definitely a show for you to watch. It airs on the True TV network Thursdays at 10 p.m. My 4th favorite series is American Horror Story Coven. This series stars Angela Bassett, Jessica Lange, and Kathy Bates, Gabrielle Sidibe, who's precious, Emma Roberts, and Sarah Paulson. Great cast. Kathy Bates plays an ex-slave master, mistress. Jessica Lange is a supreme, which is the head witch of the coven. Her daughter, Sarah Paulson, is their head teacher to teach them how to hone in on their powers and to protect the coven because the witches are dying off. And Jessica will stop at nothing to keep her control of this coven. Kathy Bates and Angela Bassett's character have a rivalry or a between them, because Kathy Bates basically killed her lover, tortured and killed her lover. And Angela Bassett is a voodoo priestess who has this immortal power to stay young. And Jessica Lange wants this power to be young forever because she is sick and dying and getting old and does not want that to happen. That comes on the FX network Wednesdays at 10 p.m. Due to the graphic violence and sexual content, it is not for children. It is definitely more like a rated R series. Watch it with caution. I don't approve of, all the sexual and violent content. They use the S word, the BS words. You do the math. A lot of foul language. So that's 10 p.m. American Horror Story Coven on the FX network. My third series is Witches of East End. This is a series similar to Charmed that airs on the Lifetime network. It's about these sisters who find out they're witches. It stars Jenna Dewan Tatum and Rachel Boston as the sisters. Julia Ormond stars in it as their mother. And they discover their powers. Jenna Dewan is kind of psychic. Like, if you remember Charmed, Phoebe character, which was played by... Phoebe, that character... played by Alyssa Milano, she could see into the future and she had different kind of psychic dreams. Well, Jenna Dewan has those powers. Her sister, however, has the power to write spells. She also has the power to resurrect the dead. And the craziness that ensues with them discovering that they're witches. 100-year-old witches, by the way, who continually die and come back to life. They die at a young age and come back to life, and that's the curse that is on their mother. They also have a crazy, wacky aunt who turns into a cat. So if you like Charm and witch stories, check out Witches of East End, which airs on Lifetime at 10 p.m. on Sunday nights. My second pick is Almost Human, starring Keith Urban, who played Julius Caesar on Xena the Warrior Princess show. He also played in Lord of the Rings. Cool New Zealand actor playing American. You have Michael Ealy from Think Like a Man and The Barbershop and other shows. Love him. Basically, Almost Human is a RoboCop style show where Michael Ealy plays the robotic android cop. Keith Urban is the human. He had a tragic death of his partner during a shootout. He was in a coma for 2 years, wakes up 2 years later, and they place him with this android cop partner of Michael Ealy. It's a great show. You like sci-fi movies, you like RoboCop, you like cop dramas. This is the show for you to watch. It also stars Lily Taylor, who's been in so many films. She was in the most recent movie, The Conjuring. That's a great film. She's the head detective of this police force. You also have Minka Kelly. She's, one of the new hotter actresses out there today. She's playing a female detective that basically specializes in the android cops. Anyway, she's more like a profile, I guess. That show is great. It's cool. It comes on Fox Network 8 p.m. Monday nights. Check your listings for that. And now we get to my number one pick for TV shows. Sleepy Hollow. This show is a fun take on the classic ghost story. It's about Ichabod Crane and the Headless Horseman. And if you love that story, you'll love this show. Basically, it stars Nicole Beharie, who played in 42 as Jackie Robinson's wife. You got Tim Myson, a British actor that I don't know too much about, but he's really cool. You got Orlando Jones from Mad TV playing the head police detective. You have some other people I'm not too sure, but anyway, basically it's 200 years later and Ichabod Crane is resurrected. He and the Headless Horseman had this curse where they're joined spiritually, And when he comes back to life after this curse was put on him, the Headless Horseman is brought back to life and wreaks havoc on this town. Nicole Bahari plays the detective trying to piece together this mystery. And it's a wonderful story. It's great to see an African-American woman actually get the lead role in a series that's a fantasy ghost story type drama. It's funny, it's cool. That airs Fox Network at 9 p.m. on Monday nights. Check it out. So check out all these shows. Tell me what you think about them. Comment below, and I will see you guys later with some more reviews. Next time I'm going to do album reviews. New albums that come out. So until then, remember, peace and love. Bye. Hair update. As I told you, I think 3 weeks ago, I'm not sure, that I was going to do a braid out on my locks after I washed and retwisted them.